What's up, Flamingos? This is Mr. Ramirez, aka the Flamingo King, with another episode on how to work with decimals. Let's start off with our objective today. I can round decimals to the 10th place value by using a number line to express my thinking. All right, let's get into it. The word problem for today is Mr. Smith organizes his rock collection by mass. He thinks each rock is about 7 6/10 grams. He rounds the masses to the nearest tenth. Decide if each mass rounds to 7 6/10 grams. All right, let's start off with cubes. We're going to circle the numbers in our word problem. So we have 7 6/10 twice. We also have in written form tenth. And a quick scan. That's it. All right, underlining the question, decide if each mass rounds to 7 6/10 grams. All right, we're going to box any keywords. Rounds is going to be important. That's our objective today. We're rounding decimals. Mass is also important. It's just the measurement that we're taking. And the unit of measurement is going to be grams. That looks like that's it that we need. Time to evaluate. So rounds, when I think rounds, this is what I'm going back to my previous grades to think about what rounding means. So if I we'll first start off with a number line from 0 to 10. And if we can recall that anything with a digit of 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, if any digit has 0, 1, 2, or 3, or 4, we're rounding down. Okay, so this would be rounding down, and we recall that if we have a digit that is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we're going to be rounding up. Right? You might remember 5 or more, up the score, 4 or less, let it rest. We're going to use that same principle, that same rule for our word problem today. Okay, so just a quick example, if we had 16, we always look whether or not we're going to round up to 20 or we're going to round down to 10. If we're rounding to the nearest 10, we'd look at the second digit here in our ones place. This falls at 6, so we're going to round up. So we would round to 20. Okay, so that's just a quick example of what rounding is. We're going to use that right now to fill out this chart, whether or not each one of these weights here would round to, each one of these masses would round to 7 6/10. All right, so let's go ahead and draw out our number line. We're going to start. I notice every whole number, every one's value here is 7. My tenths values, we have 6/10, 5/10, 4/10, 6/10, and 5/10. So if I were to start as 7 4/10, I can make this about 7 5/10. I can make this about 7. Let's do that again. That's not separate. It's not equal groups. So we'll have 7 5/10. That's about 7 6/10. And we'll go a little further to show 7 7/10. Okay, so we're going to use these same colors here to show our values that we're rounding. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go up to red. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all hundredths. So that's 7 41 hundredths, 42 hundredths, 43 hundredths, 44 hundredths, 45 hundredths. Okay, remember our value that we're working with. So 7 and 51 hundredths, 52 hundredths, 53 hundredths, 54 hundredths, 55 hundredths, 56 hundredths, 57 hundredths, 58 hundredths, 59 hundredths, 7 and 6 tenths, 7 and 61 hundredths, 62 hundredths, 63 hundredths, 64 hundredths, 65 hundredths, 66 hundredths, 67 hundredths, 68 hundredths, 69 hundredths, 70 hundredths, or 7 and 7 tenths. Okay, so if we use this rule from before, 4 or less, let it rest, 5 or more, up the score. When we talk about these values in our table, we are going to be looking at the hundredths value and that will help us decide whether or not we're going to round up to 7 and 6 tenths or round down to 7 and 6 tenths. The numbers that we're looking for are going to be right in between here. So if we have a number that lands in this part of our number line, that will round to 7 and 6 tenths. All right, so let's go ahead and start with 7 and 61 hundredths. So here's 7 and 6 tenths, or 7 and 60 hundredths, and 7 and 61 hundredths is going to be right there. So yes, it rounds to 7 and 6 tenths. The next one we have 7 and 53 hundredths. Well, here's 7 and 50 hundredths, or 7 and 5 tenths, 7 and 51, 52, 53 hundredths. So here's 7 and 53 hundredths. That falls outside of our designated area, so that's going to be no. It will not round to 7 and 6 tenths because the value of 3 hundredths will not go up. We're not going to round up to the next tenth. Next, we'll look at 7 and 49 hundredths. Well, if 7 and 53 hundredths didn't round, I already know it's going to be no, but let's double check. So here's 7 and 4 tenths. We'll go up here to 7 and 5 tenths, work our way backwards. 1. So there's 7 and 49 hundredths. That is well outside of our range right there. So that's a no. Next, we'll move to 7 and 62 hundredths. That should be. It's right next to 7 and 61 hundredths. So that will be a yes. That will round to 7 and 6 tenths. And lastly, we have 7 and 57 hundredths. Here's 7 and 5 tenths. 51, 52, 53 we already had. 54 hundredths, 55 hundredths, 56 hundredths. 57 hundredths falls within our range, so that will also be a yes. That will round to 7 and 6 tenths grams. All right, that's how a number line can help us express our thinking, and it really gives us a strong guide whether or not any of these masses will round to that 7 and 6 tenths that Mr. Smith was aiming for. All right, and that's how we round decimals to the tenths place value by using a number line to express our thinking. Thanks for watching.